the second innings, his foot was outside leg stump while his middle stump got knocked back to a ball that pitch outside half stump. In the first innings, he got a long up and drag it onto his stump. Why is it that the West Indies captain is getting out in these fashions, Basil? Why?
Well, I'll tell you, I did not get to see him bat in the second innings because at the hotel in Barbados, the internet went down. Those two, the second and third day, so I was unable to see, right? Because I was watching the games on my iPad. But I did see him get out in the first inning. And it was a most uncharacteristic shot by Mr. Brathwaite. He actually just stood up and swiped, right? Like a cane cutter. And lost his stump. I was appalled. I was like, what? Brathwaite, you playing that kind of stroke? It was like out of nowhere. He just decided to take a hike and got played on. And he should know more than anybody else. In England, you want to make sure you get as close to the ball. You play the ball under your eyes. You don't drive through the line in England. It's not a place like Australia where you could drive through the line because the bunks and pace of the pitch and so on and so forth. So just to talk about McKenzie in the first inning too. I don't know what he was thinking. Did McKenzie think he was at Sabina Park? When in the old Sabina Park, that is, where the ball bounced nicely, you can hit it on the right, drive on the rise, or thought that he was still in Australia, and that's why he went to slip.
Okay, thank you very much, Basil. Your thoughts on the dismissal of Brathwaite, Roger?
Well, Kraigg Brathwaite is a defensive player with a poor defensive technique, and that's all it comes down to. If whenever you're a batsman in cricket and you're someone who is used to staying at the crease for a long time, you're thought of as a defensive player. At the very least, you're expected to have a really tight defense. And for me, Kraigg Brathwaite has one of the poorest techniques in cricket. He gets squared up very often, as he did in this game. He's usually caught with his 2 feet pointing directly down the pitch back at the bowler. And that's just a recipe for disaster anywhere, not just in England. And I just think it comes down to his poor technique as a batsman. Obviously in the first innings, his shot selection, left a lot to be desired. And to be honest, it's not even so much shot selection. I would say execution, because that was a half volley outside the off stump. And when you should be sort of getting out and leaning over the ball and playing it late, he's just standing back and slapping at the ball. So I think it really comes down to just poor technique on Kraigg's part.